Perfect. So we are in the game. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, everyone, to game number 1 in the series, best of 3. All right. So yeah, this is going to be a double TC start map, as most of the maps in this tournament are going to be. Some will be some will be triple TC start, and there is one even that's going to be 4 TC start. So that's going to be challenging for sure. I can tell you that much. And these guys, I'm actually not really sure about these guys' elo, so somebody will have to do !elo space bengute !elo space YoungPanda. YoungPanda, I imagine, is probably the much higher level player. You gotta keep in mind that 8 players were invited, and the rest of the signups, well, they are just going to be seated normally. So if you see a name over here that you recognize versus a name that you don't recognize, chances are pretty high that the name that you do recognize features a much higher level player compared to the guy you don't recognize the name of. So most likely YoungPanda in a much better position, I would say. And for those who might not be familiar with this map, we'll get 4 plateaus to the corners of the map. So one in the north, south, west, and east, which will have a TC for each player. So we have 2 with 1 TC for each player on each side. So in the northwest, we are going to have 2 TCs for bengute. Southeast, we're going to have 2 TCs for YoungPanda. And each corner is going to have a very dense forest towards the corner of the map. And that's going to be most of the wood access. We do have some extra wood on the valley, but this is going to be small patches for the most part. We do have some wood towards the center though, but this is going to be also a patchy forest. And even if these are 150 wood each, it's going to run out actually pretty quickly, because if you take a look, we have over here, let's say about 160 or so trees over there. And over here instead, like outside in the corner, that's where we have most of the trees. Plus, if you start collecting from the center, you're downhill, and if you're relying on this forest for walls, and then it's going to be much easier to overchop as well. So there's obviously going to be a small disadvantage to going there. Then for the rest of the map, we have plenty of hunt on the valley. We have plenty of extra resources as well, with extra golds. As you can see, we're going to have extra stone at the center in between the boulders. And then there is a fire on the left hand side that I did not recall from the RMS Cap 3 submission, but RMS Cap 2 submission, sorry. Just tripped myself over there. I'm not leaking an RMS C3, by the way. It'll be way too early for that. Regardless though, bengute's going up already to the fuel age. You know, without TC start, it's usually the case that you do not spend a lot of time in the fuel age, and players are most often than not able to just fast castle with the sheer amount of villagers you get from the double TC start anyway. It's like playing with humans from the get-go, you know, you just build your economy so fast. So bengute's trying to get the palisade walls already up on the left hand side. He is already well on the south of his plateau. He's gonna have to wall also the north, and then up in the north, send some villagers over to the center, and he does not really have any walls over here, so this is going to be exposed. Meanwhile, YoungPanda, on the other hand, he's going for the palisades on the right hand side as well, in the north of his base, and towards the south, he's got some walls coming up on the left hand side as well, and that's about it for the most part. Obviously, with both these civilizations, with both these players playing the same civilization, we're going to have the same bonuses of cheaper villagers, you know, the extra armor on gunpowder units. We also have for Hindustanis, he's of 0. We're going to have for Hindustanis also for the team bonus, the bonus damage from camels and light cavalry against buildings, and the faster attack for camel units too. So we'll see. Oh, it seems like YoungPanda's gonna be the first player to struggle with the double TC. Not quite. He managed to salvage the villager just in time. He's sending another one now. But that was a close call. That was a close call. He's got both scouts going up in the north, but he's over 1 minute away from the village, so these scouts are still pretty lackluster. And these villagers should suffice just fine. Yeah, there we go. Young Panda's bringing the elephant in. I'm not really sure what he was paying attention to though when he first tried to lure it. Alright. Yeah, well done, well done. He got the elephant. On the right hand side, he doesn't really have too much though. Going and up in the north. Here comes the scouts! And I want to see Bengute, sorry, will be able to successfully defend over here as Young Panda once again. He's still in the Dark Age technically, even though he's very close to the Fuel Age. It's going to take a few extra seconds for him to eventually have a strong enough army of scouts over here to get on the villagers. But now, even if he's gotten to the Fuel Age, he's already taken so many losses in terms of HP that it's very unlikely he's going to end up getting a villager over here without losing the scout. And as a matter of fact, we see the both scouts go down, and Young Panda's high risk approach over here does not grant him a reward whatsoever. And Bengute still has the scouts, and he's actually gone as far as to add a third scout, so he's got a stable somewhere. Yeah, on the left hand side. So what will Young Panda do? You know, once again, it's pretty easy on double TC starts to just go fast castle. It's usually not worth it trying to stick to the Fuel Age and sustain a feudal battle, because your opponent's just gonna get to the castle age and that's about it. This is the first set you're casting? Yes. I have Bengute versus Young Panda, as well as Snappy versus Cheesecake Master, and Will the Beast versus Grande Dique. I don't know what the rest of the name says because the file browser over here does not have too much space. But those are the 3 sets from the round of 64. And I imagine these are probably going to be pretty one-sided given the seats, I guess. So we're probably going to do also the round 32 sets as well. How many rounds 32 sets are there? I saw only 3 for the round of 64, right? Since we are starting since early, we are just going to provide full coverage for the tournament. Because now there actually are 2 round of 32 matches I haven't watched yet, but I assume you'll start with a 3 round of 64 matches first. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Hey, Bailo! Damn! 32 months. This is like the least arena map I have seen. Yeah, you're not wrong. Welcome back, Bailo. Thank you so much for the resub. Man, last week I spent all my working time on making the video. I wanted to really prioritize that one because I wanted to have it out, obviously, before Red Bull Wall Legacy took place, because it mentions it as an upcoming event. But yeah, there wasn't really too much in terms of tournament action, so I'm happy to be back now that we had the round of 64 and round of 32 matches happening for Double Cup 3, and finally the World Series of Empire Wars has had one of the semifinals played, and the other semifinals is already scheduled for tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to do that, and we are getting some content again for tournament games, and yeah, it's good. 2 villagers down, 3 villagers down for Young Panda though, and Bengute gets game number 1. This is not at all what I was expecting. Damn. I didn't realize it was 32 months. I was guessing like 25. Time flies. Time does fly indeed. Yes. 4 round 32 matches have been played already, and 3 round 64 matches. 1 round of 64 ended in admin win, and 1 will be in 6 hours, I think. Okay. I see. So we're probably gonna do 6 to 7 series today based on the length of the series. Of course, this was a very quick game number 1, so we'll jump into game number 2 in a moment. But yeah, ideally we'll be able to cover everything. Let's take a look. There isn't really too much in terms of achievements over here to go for. Yeah, not too much. 6-0 KD. This was the villagers from Young Panda that Bengute killed, and the scouts, right? So 4 villager losses is already pretty bad. I think it was 4 villager losses, right? No, it was 3 villager losses, so he ended up losing a military unit, probably a spearman. Yeah, I think he probably lost a spearman and then a couple of villagers, and that was enough for him to call the GG. Well, this is not what I was expecting whatsoever. And let me take a look at the elo information for both these guys. Hey, Turnip! Bengute, by the way, or bengute, not bengute. My bad. Okay, it seems like AoE2.net's still down. That's unfortunate. Hey, Turnip, how are you doing? Been a while since last stream. Yes, I've been focusing on getting the video out, which is now already out. If you haven't seen it, you might be missing out. Exclamation mark video if you haven't. We have plenty of series from the Double Cup 3, sorry. And tomorrow, there's going to be the second semifinal of World Series of Empire Wars. And because we did not cast the first semifinal, we are going to cover both. We are going to cover the one that got scheduled live, I think. We're going to do it live, actually. It's at 13 GMT, might be too early. Or we could do it like at 16 GMT, both back-to-back as well. That's gonna be nice. And then we're going to have just the final for World Series. And then we can pick on Double Cup 3. Even though I think most series over here are going to be best of 3, we can still do like 3, 4 at a time. I saw some YouTube videos going out the past days. Yes. There is one particular video that I spent a lot of time, extra time working on though. And that is the kind of content that I want to get more out of as well. More scripted videos, more high production videos, more higher quality videos, not just matches. I want to also include YouTube exclusive content, you know. I don't want to put this on the sub message, but I want to say that I'm sad about your streaming schedules, or rather my sleeping schedules. I can't watch your casting too often, but I'm here when I can. Well, it's no problem. And my schedule, well, it really depends on the tournament games as well, especially when we are in stages where we cast the games live. It really depends on when they schedule, right? But at the very least, there are always the VODs. And I'm kind of curious what's going to happen during the Red Bull Wololo week, though, because they were taking registrations for casters. And it doesn't seem like they'll be able to cast all the series during the group stage on the main channel, so we might cast some of those. But I'm not really sure who's really going to watch those, because I imagine they're going to prioritize the most hype series for the main channel. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. I wasn't thinking of your convenience. I was thinking you need to adjust to my schedule. What is your... Are you still waking up insanely early and going to bed insanely early as well? Well, in my terms anyway. Oh. Around 5 AM. Right. So you have to get to bed early. I see. Well, that sucks a little bit. Unless you don't mind. Nice. Slavs versus Chinese. I haven't really talked too much about this game yet. And the map is I. And if you take a look at the minimap, you probably know why it's called I. It looks like an eye. This is the eye of Sauron, I think. Sauron? I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. I'm more of a night owl normally. Right. Yeah, okay, so I guess you would usually be going to bed at the time that you have to wake up these days. That's probably what I would do as well. If I were living in Finland, I'd probably be going to bed at the time you wake up already. Plus when they can get to Halberdier plus Ejanger, but that's always a rough combo to get to. Yeah. Yeah. Although the double TC start at the very least is going to quote-unquote guarantee the Castle Age, it's still gonna take quite a while to get to the Imperial Age and save all the resources to get the upgrades you need if you're going for such an expensive unit, with the Siege Archer of course being the expensive unit. Especially during the winter time, kind of no point waking up when it's dark for hours. Right. Alright, TLH is coming up now. Or bengute. And I'm still pretty curious about the elo of these guys. Let me take a look. We don't have... I don't think AV2.net's working still. Man, it seems like it's not. I'm just going to take a look at the official leaderboard. Village is on the way now for YoungPanda 2. He's about 23 seconds behind or so. Bengute. So he seems to be... Wow! 1600 elo. Oh! YoungPanda though! Diving underneath the TC and losing both scouts! This is super rough! YoungPanda should be significantly higher level if I'm not mistaken. Isn't he? Let me look for him. So 16 elo for bengute. Sorry. Still cannot get used to it. And YoungPanda actually does not have elo currently, so I imagine he has not been grinding. I'm gonna try to search for Empire Wars, maybe he's been playing that? No? Team games, perhaps? No? Deathmatch? Nope. Nope. There is no leaderboard I can find YoungPanda on. I guess I can do hashtag YoungPanda, perhaps? Nope. It's not working, so I'm not really sure, but I would imagine he would be the higher elo player. Regardless though, one village goes down from YoungPanda. And it certainly does not seem like that's the case though. bengute might be a humble 1600 player. In a tournament filled with pros, but he's actually been getting the best engagements over here. He's been getting the best trades. And been good. There we go. Around 1600 currently, but don't know his highest rating. Okay, well that's something that I was not expecting. Interesting. For the ceiling, he was 1583. I recognize the name YoungPanda, but I guess maybe I recognize him from a community context, not from as a pro player. So maybe that's it. Or maybe I saw him play alongside pro players at some point, and then I got this notion that he's the higher level player over here. But bengute seems to be doing really well. Does not losing one scout over here, but overall KD is still favoring the blue player. And he's gonna be the first player to get to the castle age by quite a lot as well. He's roaming around, and YoungPanda, that is going to realize that bengute's completely walled up in the north, and then on the left hand side. The walls will be completed very shortly as well. Bengute's going for the walls towards the south with 2 villagers, so that's not going to take too long, and he's actually adding a few extra villagers up in the north. And he's going for the stone walls! Wow! Castle Age is going to be here so much later for YoungPanda though. What do we have for bengute? He's gotten to the Castle Age, and you know what? He's got a lot of resources. He's not going for knights at all. And the stone walls over here suggest that he's gonna aim for the Imperial Age. If you take a look at the resources, while YoungPanda on the other hand, he's getting to the Castle Age. On a somewhat smaller villager count, he's gotten a lot of extra idle TC time, so he's really struggled to keep up this game. There we are. Yeah, pretty good reaction from bengute. Keep him resting up. Pretty good reaction from bengute. He's going for a 4th TC now. The 3rd TC is already on the way on the left-hand side. And YoungPanda's added a siege workshop, so this I like to see. I want to see more pressure against the boomer, but I fear the siege workshop over there might be a little bit too far away compared to what he could have gone for anyway. Bengute's just taking full advantage of the extra resources. This is going to come at the cost of map control, of course. There you are. Yeah, good reaction. Good reaction from bengute. He's baiting how many light cavalry over here? 8 light cavalry with a single knight. That is amazing. So he alleviates the pressure. And then on the left-hand side, YoungPanda's got just pikemen, right? If he brings the light cavalry, he's going to have a lot more punching power against the stable. But unfortunately, he wouldn't be able to break through over here. It should be pretty easy for bengute to keep the stable up. He would need the siege workshop, but he went for the siege workshop on the right-hand side. So he is bringing the light cavalry back, which makes sense, yes. He's bringing the light cavalry back. He's going to keep on putting pressure. Might be able to get this TC down. Really, it's going to depend on bengute's reaction. If he does add a defensive siege workshop, that'll make it pretty difficult for YoungPanda to keep on pushing. And by the way, I do like the decision making of bengute over here. I was kind of worried that he was trying to aim for a somewhat fast imp. But going for the extra TCs over here and playing defensive is going to be the much safer bet. Whilst going up to the Imperial Lich would have taken way too many resources. And he would have struggled against this. But take a look at that though. Here comes YoungPanda with the ram. He goes past the palisade walls, but immediately bengute goes for 2 houses behind it. So now YoungPanda is going to have to try and target the defense section of the walls. But guess what? bengute's going for a defensive castle that's going to put a stop to this push in the castle age from YoungPanda. It's going to require Imperial Siege to take down. Unless YoungPanda were to go for like, I don't know, 5-6 rounds or something. But even then, it's going to be just so difficult to get to the base of the castle that, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem good. Conversion on the left-hand side, bengute gets a pikeman. That's about it. This map is really cool. I had a lot of fun practicing it. I see. Yeah, this has been a classic map for the Double Cup tournaments. If I'm not mistaken, I remember this was in Double Cup 2 for sure. I don't remember this was in Double Cup 1. I don't remember if I cast Double Cup 1 actually. I might not have. But don't recall, that was a couple years back. Yeah, imagine practicing on all the maps for this tournament. What is a map pool, like 30 something maps or something? It's like a pretty big map pool. You think fishing ships are meta on this map? Well, it's pretty hard to tell. This is the first series, the second game in the first series that we see. And by the way, this is 1-0 for bengute. So yeah, if it was meta before, it certainly... Oh, bengute's gone for this was detonates. Sorry, detonates. So the castles are cheaper now. Yeah, if it was meta before, it's no guarantee that it's going to be meta now because of the balance changes that happen throughout the time period between Double Cup 2 and Double Cup 3. But I would say it should be, because you have it available. You have that hand. If you get the walls up, it's basically a no-brainer to just take the fish, right? Especially in YoungPanda's position, if you take a look at the walls, he's gone for the walls beyond the lake. So he could potentially even go as far as to take the dolphins and the outskirts over here, which wouldn't be available to bengute. If you take a look at bengute, he's gone for much smaller walls, so he cannot keep on fishing from here. And he was the one going for fish the heaviest from both these players. It was an old double cup, said originated masters of RMS. Just some weeks before double cup 1. Alright, alright. But there were... Oh. But they're without the 2 TCs in the north and the south. I see. So yeah, for this version, fishing seems to be a no-brainer. Take a look at this though, YoungPanda's coming in. He's getting the light cavalry on the back, but he might get trapped over here. He's gotta be careful. If bengute was paying attention, he could have trapped the light cavalry over here with a few villagers. Now he's sending the pikemen. It seems like he's going to end up cleaning this up anyway. There is no escaping for the light cavalry though, is there? I don't think they can get past the pikemen over here without taking the fight, so they are going to end up getting cleaned up. Wow, that was really bad from YoungPanda. That is very unfortunate. Both players are going after the Imperials right now. But YoungPanda just spent a lot of resources on those units, and he ended up just kind of wasting them. If you take a look at the Eco KDs, just 1 nil. And it's favoring bengute even, so YoungPanda was unable to do any damage with the light cavalry, and that must have been like 800 resources down the drain. Probably more than that. I think it might have been more than 10 light cavalry he lost. So it's really bad. He's going out to the Imperials right now, and so is bengute. But obviously the bull player is going to have plenty of extra resources compared to YoungPanda that he has not spent into units that just died. So his economy should be in a much better place. And you gotta keep in mind as well, the bengutes farmers, they do work 10% faster, so his food economy is going to be pretty insane. He's got a light cavalry up there right now, and he's been going pretty heavily into pikemen, so it seems like is he going to add Hussar? No, he's going for what is the name of this unit? Boyars, right? Chain Barden armor. Yeah, as Bailo said, Halberdier and Siege Archer over here will be pretty hard to stop with good unit control for bengute. And I imagine he's gonna go for Halberdier. He's got the resources and he's got the pikeman count to justify the investment. Extra TC on the way for YoungPanda. That's the 4th TC. There we go, Imperial H is here for bengute. So bengute's a little bit higher elo compared to YoungPanda. So far it shows. His population is so much healthier over here. It seems like he'll get to 200 population so much sooner. Yeah, and he's pushing YoungPanda out with pikemen only. He's bringing the boyars over here, but they did not play a role in pushing YoungPanda out. Plus we have some rams coming up. The clan, I will keep guessing Siege Archer plus Halberdier until it happens. Oh, we have Arbalisters over here for YoungPanda. Well, that's not going to work. Halberdier is on the way for bengute. And he's got plenty of resources. If he utilizes the market, he should be able to get the Siege Archer, no problem. YoungPanda manages to clean bengute's defensive units over here with the addition of camels into the mix, but now we have Halberdier. And we see heavy scorpions now for bengute. That's a very interesting choice. He's got extra siege workshops coming out, so it seems like he'll try to mass them up. And that could be pretty rough against Anges potentially, so I'm pretty curious if YoungPanda is going to go for that once he realizes what bengute's army composition is. But yeah, it's interesting. So we have Heavy Scorpion over here. That's a unit we certainly don't see every day. You know, and with Arbalisters and Onagers from YoungPanda, we might actually get to see a 3rd game. I guess we'll find out. Cat Rams coming for YoungPanda as well as Plate Barden armor. Hey, base. Hey, how are you doing? Hi, welcome back. Hope you're doing alright. Is the title correct? I think it should be. Double Cup 3, round of 64 and round of 32. This is these are the round of 64 sets, and after these we'll jump into the round 32. I probably should update the stream title to also say who we are casting currently. Yeah, there we go. Like this. Are we just going fast forward through these? No, no need. There aren't really too many tournament games, so we cannot really justify fast forward in anything. I want this at the very least to be a nice and long stream. We are going to cover 6 to 7 series, depending on how long these are. And yeah, we have 7 series total available to us. 3 from the round of 64 and 4 from the round of 32. There is another one that's going to take place in about 6 hours from the round of 64 as well, and that we are going to save for the next batch of games. I like to save several series so that we can have longer streams over here. Otherwise, if I just cast the sets as they take place, it's pretty short. Oh! Okay, so now it should be updated. Thank you for the heads up, our base. Don't forget to check out the video if you haven't already, guys. The new video, already out on YouTube. Man, the villagers are going down pretty quickly over here from YoungPanda trying to get the castle up over there. Although the Scorpions did not seem like they worked too well though. There's just one Scorpion left over here, but bengute's bringing a few extra over. Yeah, and he's not really paying too much attention. There's a few over here that he's got to bring over as well. It's very important for him to clean this up. Otherwise, the castle is certainly coming up. Well, players being in the Imperial Age though kind of surprises me that bengute's not going for a trebuchet. He's got the resources. He's going for a second castle instead at the center. Why the halberdier spam? He was going for halberdier earlier, and I guess he's probably just sticking to it because of that, to use as a meat shield, but certainly it'll be better for him to go for something else. Yeah, he's got the potential for Hussar, he's got the Boyar. And there we go, trebuchet's finally on the way for bengute. Now YoungPanda's going for trebuchet the moment he gets the castle up. The moment he keeps the trebuchets up, but with 2 castles over here from bengute, he should be able to outproduce the red player for trebuchets for sure. Yeah. He's just throwing the halberdier into the meat grinder, and YoungPanda doesn't even seem like he needs onagers to take care of the heavy Scorpio. He's just going at them with light cavalry, and he's getting away with it. Pretty good unit control for YoungPanda compared to bengute anyway. And bengute's going for elite Boyar right now, as well as masonry, which is going to aid in Treb War. How many villagers do we have here? So we have 11 villagers. He can hold on against 1 trebuchet easily, but against 2 is going to be a struggle. Meanwhile, for the red player, we have 12 villagers, so it's going to be a similar situation. Against 2 trebuchets, it's going to take more damage than he can repair for. He's got masonry as well, and he's going for architecture right now, so YoungPanda's castles will be more resilient. There we go. The Boyars are coming in, though. They are not getting there on time, are they? They are not getting there on time. And the trebuchet is being repaired right now. The Boyar's going down easy for YoungPanda. Should be able to get the castle down now, and he will. One more shot from the Trebs, and there we go. Castle down. Next one should drop very soon as well, but this one from YoungPanda as well, it should drop too. He does not have enough villagers over here to repair the castle against 2 trebuchets. Once again, 13. Eventually the castle will drop unless YoungPanda is able to go after the trebuchets, and he's bringing the light cavalry right now. But it seems like he's going to get enough damage out over here before he gets cleaned up by the Boyars though. Yeah. Why is blue going for all units to die against ARP? Because 1600, I guess? I don't know. I wouldn't really read too much into much of this. These guys, this elo, they're obviously pretty strong players. 1600, I think, is probably like top 5%, something along those lines. But yeah, of course, there's going to be a few mistakes here and there, mostly in decision making that we're probably not used in seeing we're probably not used to seeing in higher level games that we usually cast, right? So yeah. Games like these though provide a great learning opportunity for people, because you can then go through the rec either using Capture H or just the game, you know, replay mode, and realize about these things that you, when you are in the middle of the game, you don't really think about too much. Like right now, bengute seems to be kind of stuck in this army composition. He's probably just thinking of getting his population up, and he's not really thinking about switching it up too much. Probably too caught up in the little details of keeping production going over thinking of the bigger picture, perhaps. He wants a third game, I guess. We'll see. Yeah, AO2 that net's down. Yeah, still. Here we go. Yeah, bengute's going to keep at it. He's going for C-Tram, which I like, and it's going to soak some damage from the Arbalest unless YoungPanda is able to micro these units properly, but yeah, that alone obviously is not going to do anything. He's going to need something else. Well, it's going to be a much better meat shield compared to the Halberdier, though. I'll tell you that much. And what's going on? YoungPanda's not paying attention. That's a lot of villagers going down. It's been good units. Yeah, so far 6 villagers from the units that we selected only. But probably more than that total that YoungPanda just lost in the gold mine over there. There's plenty of extra gold. I understand him trying to go for the forward goal, for the further forward goal, so that if he gets pushed away from here, he still has the other goals to fall back to. And that's about it. Population is a little bit of an issue for YoungPanda despite getting close to 200 population because of the villager count too. He's got way too many resources right now. He can definitely make do with 10 or so fewer villagers. Do you know what Elo bengute is? Bengute is about 1600 currently. And YoungPanda seems to be mid 1500s to around 1600. It seems like he was 1600 when he signed out to the tournament, but right now he seems to be a little bit higher than, a little bit lower than 1600 rather, a little bit higher than 1500. Hey, there we go. We have Cavalier on the way now. For bengute, and I like this a lot better. Warriors, Cavalier, he's got Rams. He's finally shaking things up. Just that unit control and the push over here is not particularly neat or tidy. He's got to take better care of his units. bengute's got good food for an SSR spam. Yeah, could potentially go for it. YoungPanda is going for heavy camel right now. That could be good for defending against something like that, but still, it's much better to be in the on the offensive than being the defensive. Alright, there we go. So he's bringing the Rams in. Where are the Cavalier? He's gonna start raiding. No Azar over here, just Cavalier. He's going for light cavalry right now though. So we might see Hazar. He's going also for Onager. He's going for 200 swordsmen. bengute's going for everything. He's gone from being stuck on Halberdier and Heavy Scorpion for the longest part of the game into going for absolutely everything he can go for. And you know, militia line units actually can be pretty strong from bengute because of the Slavs. Virginia unique technology in the Imperial Age. So that's actually pretty interesting. If you can take care of Arbalesters, then he should be able to make infantry work. So I do like the Onager play. He will still need though Oh, that was a good shot. He'll probably still need some halberdier in case we saw a cavalry push from YoungPanda to hold on against infantry in siege. Obviously, like militia line units and onagers. Cavalier from the Chinese would take care of all of that. But yeah, as long as we have a few halberdier for bengute into the mix as well, he should be pretty much able to secure the siege. Should be able to sustain the push as well, and bengute seems like he's finally getting in the driver's seat once again. Very important not to throw all the units away for free. So not this. But besides that, he is in a much better position right now compared to 5 minutes ago. Beautiful. YoungPanda's going for rocketry. Well, you know, he's got just 10 Chukanus. I'm not really sure if these are even elite Chukanus. No, these are not even elite Chukanus. I'm not really sure going for this upgrade is going to be worth it in this situation. He doesn't have Scorpions, so that's not going to affect any siege weapons. And for Chukanus, these are not fully upgraded still. He's going to lose this castle. So his Chukanu production is going to crumble right now. It's going to be left on 3 castles compared to bengute's 4 castle count. And here come the rounds, straight onto the trebuchets. And that's 1,200 resources down the drain as YoungPanda calls a GG. He says good luck next. Bengute takes game number 2, and you know, to be fair, the moment it seemed like bengute might end up losing this game, it was because of his own decision making. The moment he actually switched away from the quite ineffective army he was going for, then he started getting a lead over here once again. So it did not seem at any point in time like YoungPanda was getting on the lead because of his strong being particularly strong, but mostly because bengute was kind of struggling to, you know, to put his finger on exactly what he needed to go to hold on against YoungPanda's push. So bengute performed pretty well overall, even if it took some time for him to get in good shape in game number 2. But it does not moving on to round 32. Meanwhile, YoungPanda's going to meet the end of the road over here for Double Cup 3, sorry. And let's take a look at the achievements over here. I'm pretty curious about the military stats. It's about 7 to 6 KD. Actually, it's about 9 to 8 KD ratio for YoungPanda. And it was overall pretty effective, I would say. He ended up taking a bunch of Scorpions, for instance, from bengute. Yeah, and the army high was pretty close for both players. Economy much stronger for bengute though. So even if YoungPanda's trades were pretty cost effective for the most part, bengute's economy was just so much stronger that it did not matter. Well done. Let's go back.